Imagine living in a universe where your emotions are constantly repressed, where you are taught that the way to peace is complete control and suppression of your feelings. In theory, this approach might seem like an effective method for achieving internal harmony and avoiding external conflicts. But what happens when these emotions don't disappear? When they are simply pushed into the background, waiting for the right moment to emerge? The life of Anakin Skywalker offers us a dark and revealing case study of the consequences of this repression. The Jedi Code, at its core, was created to guide the Jedi on a path of justice, wisdom, and service to the greater good. However, like any code, it is subject to interpretation and sometimes misunderstanding. The famous phrase, "there is no emotion, there is peace," stands out as one of the most controversial. For many, this maxim suggests that the Jedi must suppress their emotions in order to achieve true peace. But is this suppression really healthy? Or does it create a breeding ground for internal conflicts that can lead to disastrous results? Anakin Skywalker, perhaps more than any other character, exemplifies the danger of misinterpreting or taking certain concepts of the Jedi Code to extremes. From an early age, Anakin was taught that his emotions, especially fear and attachment, were enemies of his progress as a Jedi. But instead of learning to deal with these feelings in a healthy way, he was told to bury them, to deny them, to believe that by suppressing his emotions he would be following the right path. This process of repression, however, had the opposite of the desired effect. The restriction of emotions and basic instincts, often imposed by religious dogma, can create a dangerous internal dissonance. When a person is taught to suppress their natural desires and genuine emotions in the name of rigid morality, this can generate a deep internal conflict. Instead of helping the person to achieve peace and harmony, this repression can intensify the repressed feelings, turning them into destructive forces that eventually emerge in an uncontrolled way. The imbalance that arises from this internal conflict is often the root of extreme and self-destructive behavior. Throughout his life, Anakin struggled with intense feelings of fear, anger, and love. These emotions, instead of disappearing, grew inside him, becoming a powerful and uncontrollable force. The peace he sought through repression proved illusory, because by denying his emotions, he was also denying an essential part of his own humanity. The pressure of maintaining this mask of serenity, while a maelstrom of emotions raged inside him, eventually brought Anakin to breaking point. And it was at this breaking point that the dark side found its opportunity. Religions and dogmas that preach the denial of human instincts and emotions tend to create intense psychological pressure in their followers. By denying fundamental aspects of human nature, these practices can lead to a disconnection between the person and their own essence. This can result in a constant struggle against oneself, where the individual feels they are in a never-ending battle between what is considered right and what is natural. This internal struggle can fuel feelings of guilt, shame, and frustration, which in turn can be exploited by external influences, leading the person to seek relief in ways that take them away from balance, such as the dark side of the Force. The dark side of the Force, always lurking, thrives on the very emotions that the Jedi are taught to suppress. Fear, anger, hatred, and desire are open doors to the dark side, especially when these emotions are not recognized and dealt with in a healthy way. In Anakin's case, the continual repression of these emotions not only weakened him, but also made him an easy target for Palpatine's manipulations. What began as an attempt to follow the Jedi Code faithfully ended up becoming the trap that bound him to the dark side. The real danger lies in the fact that prolonged repression of basic emotions and instincts does not eliminate these forces, but turns them into potential explosives. When a person finds themselves unable to express their emotions in a healthy way, these repressed energies can manifest in destructive ways, both for themselves and for others. This repression can lead to the development of deep resentments and a sense of disconnection, which are fertile ground for emotional and mental imbalance. In the end, the continual denial of what is inherently human can push someone into the abyss of the dark side, where despair and anger find fertile soil to flourish. It's important to note that the problem lies not in the intention behind the Jedi Code, but in the way it is interpreted and applied. The search for peace and serenity is commendable, but the idea that emotion must be completely denied in order to achieve this peace is problematic. Emotions are an inherent part of the human experience and, when suppressed, can become destructive forces. Instead of suppressing emotions, perhaps the Jedi should have taught Anakin to recognize, understand, and eventually transform his emotions into something positive. The path to balance, both in life and in the Force, lies not in repression, but in integration. Anakin was never taught to integrate his emotions in a healthy way, and this flaw was exploited by the dark side. By observing his journey, we can learn that true peace does not come from denying our emotions, but from accepting and transforming them. It is through a deep understanding of our emotions, rather than suppressing them, that we can find the balance we so desperately seek. This reflection on the Jedi Code and the fate of Anakin Skywalker leads us to question: to what extent are we repressing our own emotions in search of an illusory peace? And could this repression, without us realizing it, be leading us down a dark path? Anakin's story is a powerful reminder that excessive control and suppression of our emotions can be just as dangerous as complete abandonment to emotional chaos. The key is balance, harmony between reason and emotion, acceptance of the totality of who we are. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Leave your experiences and opinions in the comments. May the Force be with you.